Hey guys, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about mastering your emotions. And there's really only two very simple questions that you need to ask yourself if you want to learn how to master your emotions. And I know that we've heard with the law of attraction that you need to be in a positive feeling state, a high vibe state, because when you're feeling negative emotions, then that's what you're calling more of into your life. There is truth to that. Yes, what you feel, your state of being, that's what you're calling into your life. But there's also this false understanding of that, in that you should always be in a high vibe state. And when you're not, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling upset, when you're feeling sad, you are going to call more of that into your life. And that part just isn't true. What I want to make the distinction there is that it's okay to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling angry even, it's okay to allow yourself to feel that way. But the trick is to not stay in that state. It's good to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, but then to release it and move on. Whereas a lot of people tend to feel what they're feeling and they just sit in that feeling. They stay there and they stay upset and they stay angry and they hold that grudge and they don't know how to let it go. That's when you start calling more of that into your life. But just the simple act of feeling what you're feeling and then letting it go can actually be really beneficial for you. So the very first question that I want to recommend that you guys ask when you're feeling upset, sad, angry, any of those emotions, is to ask yourself, why am I allowing myself to feel this way? And this comes from the simple act of knowing that you are in control of what you're feeling. You are in control of your emotions. So I've heard a lot of people say, oh, my husband made me so mad. He did this and this and this, or, oh, my kids made me so angry today. And it's always someone else made them feel a certain way. And that's simply not true. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's just not true. You cannot be made to feel a certain way. You allow yourself to feel a certain way. If I get upset with my husband because he doesn't take the trash out like I asked him to, and then the trash comes by and we're sitting with full trash cans for a whole nother week because he forgot to take them out like I asked him to, I choose whether or not I'm going to get upset with him about that and start a fight with him over it, or I can say, you know what, why am I allowing myself to be upset about this? And I know that it can feel very therapeutic sometimes to just be angry and blame it on somebody else, but the simple truth is that you are in control of how you feel. So the very first question to mastering your emotions is to ask yourself, why am I allowing myself to feel this way? Okay? And then the second question is, what can I do to prevent this from happening again? So again, this is where it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes you just have to pick your battles, as they say. If I ask my husband to take out the trash and he forgets, I can either, like I said, allow myself to sit in this anger or being upset with him, or I can say, you know what, he forgot about it. It still needs to be done. So I'm going to take the trash out. And what can I do to prevent this from happening again? The next time that I ask him to take the trash out, I will just make sure that he does it when I ask him to, and not say, okay, I will later, because it usually doesn't get done. So once you've accepted that you are in control of how you feel, the next thing is to ask yourself how you can prevent this from happening again. So I'll give you guys another example. My kids tend to leave their toys scattered around all over the place, or used to anyway. It still happens sometimes, but not as often as it used to. And I used to get so upset anytime I would step on a Lego piece or trip over a toy, especially when I am up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Everyone else is still sleeping and I'm trying to be quiet. Stepping over toys and tripping over toys used to always make me really upset. And so I started to ask myself, why am I allowing myself to feel so upset over this? And that just brought me back to realizing that I was choosing to feel this way. So once I was able to just take a deep breath and let that go and say, make that decision that I'm not going to allow myself to be in the state of anger over this. I'm not going to lose my peace over this. The next step was, what can I do to prevent this from happening again? So I sat my kids down later that day and I said, okay, here's the deal. I told you guys again and again and again to pick up your toys after you're done playing with them. And since I continue to trip over toys every single day, what I'm going to start doing is every time that I see toys scattered around the floor, I'm just going to pick them up myself. I'm going to put them in a box, and you guys will not see those toys until next year. And at first, it didn't really register. It didn't make a difference. And after a couple weeks, they started realizing, hey, we're running out of stuff to play with. And I overheard my 8-year-old tell my 6-year-old one day that they needed to pick up their toys so that mama wouldn't put them in that big box. And that's when I was like, okay, it's working. And you know what? I was no longer tripping over toys or over Legos or stepping on Legos. And my kids started picking up after themselves, which gave me no further reason to get upset about tripping over toys or stepping on Legos. So that was the solution to why I was feeling the way that I was feeling and how I could prevent that from happening again. So those are the two main questions that you can ask yourself to start mastering your emotions. Now, if those two aren't working for you and you still are feeling, allowing yourself to feel upset and angry over things, there's one last question that I know if you guys are really honest with yourself about it, you can change the way you're feeling. And that is, how would my highest self handle this right now? And to take a moment and really just close your eyes and think about how your highest self would handle this situation. And then act from that space. This takes practice. It's going to take a while to, one, recognize when you're about to get angry or upset. And two, to realize that you have a choice on, am I going to allow myself to feel this, or am I going to pivot and do something that is going to keep me in a higher vibration? And then also, what can I do to prevent this from happening again? And like I said, if nothing else, at least ask yourself, how would my highest self handle this? And then just act from that space. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below or shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm always on there at the Daily Uplevel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hey guys. So today I wanted to talk about my 2 manifest lists, and first where the idea came from and how I have tweaked it and am using it to create a reality that I want to manifest.